Now, earlier on, we did mention that the European Union is grappling with a major migrant and refugee crisis. I want to go over to Geneva now, where we join up with Itayi Viriri, spokesperson for the International Organization of Migration. Itayi, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you, Vincent.
Yes, one of the things that appears to be coming out of this crisis is funding. Tell us a little bit how this is challenging those who are trying to help all these refugees and migrants in Europe.
Well, as we already know, I mean, the numbers are quite unprecedented, certainly in terms of those numbers that are arriving in Italy and Greece. So therefore, the European Union has started recognizing that more needs to be done in terms of actually providing the resources that are needed to look after the migrants who are arriving. And as I said, the bulk are arriving in those two states. Today, what European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker has actually announced is, apart from what he calls a swift and determined comprehensive response, they're also putting aside some actual resources, like in terms of funding, to actually assist countries that are facing this emergency directly. In the same vein, I mean, we're also seeing a situation where some of the systems that are currently existing in Europe, whether to do with protection for international refugees or just migration, like migration checks like Dublin II are not working. So they need to actually go back to that and see whether they have enough resources to have the systems actually operational and fit for purpose. And I think that's what we are going to see more of coming out of the meeting on the 14th, when the European Commission and the various countries meet.
Now, we know that there are various international organizations, aid organizations, that have been working on the ground in so many of those countries. How is the situation with their funding, their particular funding?
As you can imagine, we are looking at a situation globally where a lot of funding calls are currently in existence. So we're looking at the situation in Syria, we're looking at the situation in Iraq, we're looking at the situation in Yemen, amongst many other countries, and of course Libya. So already the resources that are there are already stretched. This is another additional emergency that we're dealing with, and quite a lot of agencies, including ourselves, are certainly struggling in terms of providing supports to the migrants and refugees who we are seeing on our screens every day. And certainly the call has gone out for more resources, and I think the European Commission is hopefully heeding that call for more resources, and they will be provided. So far, some of the funding that has been provided has been sent directly to the countries that are directly affected, like Greece, Italy, and Hungary lately. But yes, I think certainly more is needed to support these desperate people, especially when you see pictures of children, desperately clinging to their parents. Those children, have to be fed, have to be clothed, and we need that kind of support.
Itayi, there's been a lot of debate over refugee versus a migrant. At this point, does it really matter?
Well, at this point, I mean, we're talking about human beings. Yes, the definitions matter when it comes to especially a jurisdiction like the European Union, where they have their own rules on migration and asylum. But when we are talking about human beings, I think the first and foremost is to ensure that they are safe, that they are treated as humanely as possible. And then, I mean, the reality is that sometimes when you delve into semantics, you forget about the actual human beings that we're trying to assist. And also when you talk of refugees, refugees are a subsection of migrants, and refugees is a specific definition under international conventions. So we would certainly not really want to get bogged down into all the issue about definitions, but focus more on the actual people that need help.
Well, Itayi, thank you very much. Itayi Viriri is a spokesman for the International Organization of Migration. He joined us via phone from Geneva.